Hello, students. I hope all are well. Now, today we begin with the third chapter, that is journal. We have already studied how to pick out two accounts, state their types, and then we have used the rules of debit and credit. So, we have studied the rules which are of the three different accounts, that is personal, real, and nominal. So now we will apply to the transactions and write the journal entries. So before we just go into the journal, now what is a journal and what is required to write a journal? Okay, so there are some documents which are required to write the journal. You just cannot write it on your own. So some supporting documents are there. So those are called as documents used to write the journal. Now there may be some vouchers, some credit notes, some tax invoice, different types of checks. So if you see the beginning of the chapter, you will find all this. So I had planned to tell you all this and make you draw the specimens in the class. So now we will do this part of documents a little later so that we start straight away with the journal entries. Now, what is a journal? A journal is a book of prime entry or primary entry or original entry where first when a transaction takes place, you record that transaction first in the journal, and from the journal then it is recorded in the ledger, which is a secondary book of accounts. So journal, the word journal is derived from the word jour, J-O-U-R, which means a day. That means daily transactions are recorded in the journal. If there are 5 transactions on day 1, 10 transactions day 2, so they are recorded date wise. So that is the only thing there. And we have to pick out again the accounts, since we'll be doing the small problems. Pick out the accounts, find out which type it is, and then apply the rule. And then when you write the entry in a debit and credit form, that is called a journal entry. Below that, you will write the narration. Okay, narration always begins with the word be. Now, since we are not having physical class, I would like you to write the name of the chapter journal. You will write the date, the name of the chapter, and then on page 51. Okay, on page 51, you have the meaning. So first you will write meaning, then you will write the definition, and after that, you will draw on page 52 is the specimen of the journal. So I want you to draw the specimen. So first meaning, then definition, and then the specimen of the journal. Now, if you look at the journal specimen, which is on page 52, you will find first it is written journal of. So you have to write in whose books you are preparing or who is the businessman. So his transactions are recorded in that journal. So if you look at the format, it says date, particulars, ledger folio, debit amount, credit amount. Now under the date column, you always begin with the year, then the month, and then the date. So here you write once, year and month, and then below that you write the dates for that month. Then in the particulars column, you will first write the name of the account which is debited, and always begin that from the margin. And then leave some space and then write to the name of the account credited. You will understand this better when we are writing the journal entries. And then you can see there being. Being is narration, okay, what the entry tells you. So in short, we have done what is narration. So it always begins with the word and you will write only in the particulars column. Next column is ledger folio. Now folio means page number, okay. Now this says ledger folio. That means for cross reference, when these journal entries are posted in the ledger, you can take this page number as the reference. So you have to write page number. But since we don't do actual practice and not writing actual books of accounts, we are not going to write page number, but we have to draw the format. We cannot change the format. Then the debit amount and credit amount. So this is the specimen or format of the journal. So you will draw, again I'm repeating, you write the name of the chapter journal, below that meaning, then definition, and then the specimen. So you can leave 2 pages there, draw it very neatly. And now we move on to the very important part where journal entries are related to goods. Okay, most of the problems or the transactions are basically around the goods in which a trader deals. So today we will study 11 different types of journal entries. So you will draw the journal. I will be showing you how to write the journal entry, what accounts are picked up. So I'll explain to you those entries. So now we will write the heading as journal entries related to goods. Journal entries related to goods. Now we don't have dates, so we'll put serial numbers because we are only doing transactions related to goods. So only serial number you will write in the date column. So the first one is purchased goods. You can write the transaction there so that you know the transaction and then the entry. Purchased goods for cash from Anand worth rupees 15,000. Now we have done this transaction in class. Okay. So we have done picking out 2 accounts here. So if you see, it is purchase goods for cash. So it is a cash transaction. So one of the accounts will be cash, the other account will be purchases. So 2 accounts are picked up. One is cash account, the other is purchases account. So now you know purchases is a nominal account and cash is a real account. So purchases is an expense. So according to the rule of nominal account, purchases will be debited because it is debit all expenses and losses. And cash, real account, cash is going out of business. So it is credit what goes out. So now see how you will write the entry. So below that you will take down the entry. From the margin you will write purchases account debit, right at the end, 15,000 in the debit column. Now when you're writing the credit, write it away from the margin, write to cash account in the credit column, 15,000. Okay, that's the first entry. Now write the second transaction, bought goods from Anand worth rupees 10,000 on credit. Okay, now first transaction was cash transaction. It is the same, but now it is on credit. So 2 accounts here, bought goods. That means you are purchasing, but you are purchasing on credit from Anand. So it is purchases account and Anand's account. So again, purchases, you already know it has to be debited, and Anand personal account, he is the giver. So his account has to be credited. So now how will you write? Purchases account debit. Purchases account debit 10,000 to Anand's account, away from the margin, to Anand's account credit 10,000. Okay. Third one. Goods, write the third transaction. Goods worth rupees 3,000 returned to Anand. Okay, now here, if you see, the goods which were purchased are being returned to Anand. So there are the two accounts here. One is Anand, clearly that we are returning goods to him. Okay, and since they are returned, goods are going out of the business, so it is called as return outward. Okay, so Anand, you're returning personal account, so he is the receiver. So if he is the receiver, according to the rule, his account will be debited. So here you will write Anand's account debit 3,000 to return outward account. When goods are purchased and they are returned, that means they are going out. So return outward. Okay, so to return outward. So debit part first, credit part second. Credit always begins with the word to. Now we move on to the next transaction. It is sold goods worth rupees 10,000 to Sunil for cash. Okay, now we have to again pick out two accounts. So it will be one, you are selling the goods, so it is sales. And what type of transaction? See the word there, it says for cash. So it is a cash transaction. So if it is cash transaction, one of the account will be cash. So it is cash and sales. So cash, when you're selling the goods, you are receiving. So cash comes in. So entry here will be cash account debit. Rule for real account, debit what comes in. So cash account debit 10,000, and sales is a nominal account. It is an income. So according to the rule, it says credit incomes and gains. So to sales account 10,000. Okay. See, children, first three entries are all related to purchases. So the now next three entries will be all related to sales, but all are revolving around the goods. So take down the next one. Sold goods to Sunil worth rupees 10,000 on credit. Okay, same type of transaction. Fourth transaction is a cash transaction. Fifth transaction is a credit transaction. Both are selling of goods. So now you can understand, instead of cash, since it is a credit transaction, you will write the name of the person. So here it is Sunil's account and sales account. Sunil is personal, you're selling goods, so he is the receiver. So here you will write Sunil's account debit 10,000 to sales account. Sales is credited because it is an income, and according to the rule, we have to credit incomes and gains. So to sales account, 10,000. Now the next one, Sunil returned goods worth rupees 2,000. Now what is happening? You had sold goods to Sunil. Now he is returning. So what is happening? Goods are coming back into the business. Okay. So here the one account will be sales return account, and the other, who is the giver? Sunil. Okay. So Sunil's account will be credited. So here you will write return inward account. Return inward account debit 2,000 is also called as sales return. It has two names, so you can use sales return or return inward. To Sunil's account 2,000. Okay, so now we have finished transactions of purchases of sales. Okay, one cash, one credit, and one return. So how you write the debit and credit part, and we have done, except for the return, the other 4 transactions we have done in the previous chapter. Now write the next one. 7th one, goods worth rupees 5,000 withdrawn by proprietor for personal use. So you know what you have to use here. We have already done. Personal use means one of the account will be drawings, and the other is goods. So goods are going out of business, and businessman is receiving the benefit. So now how will you write this journal entry? You will write drawings account debit. Drawings personal account, businessman is the receiver, so his account will be debited. Drawings account debit 5,000. Now when you are writing the credit part, you have to write all these words. So write to goods withdrawn, use 2 lines if required, withdrawn by proprietor account. 2 goods withdrawn by proprietor account in the credit column 5,000. Okay, the same amount has to come, debit credit. So I hope you have understood. When they are withdrawn for personal use, it is drawings. So you know that drawings is debited, and this credit part you have to write 2 goods withdrawn by proprietor account, which is already given in the transaction. Now the 8th one, goods worth rupees 3,000 distributed as free samples. Now, in the class, I have explained to you why are goods distributed as free samples, and you have given me the answer that they are distributed for the purpose of advertisement. Now, advertisement is a nominal account. When you're distributing from the business, it is an expense, and according to the rule of nominal account, all expenses have to be debited. So now the 2 accounts here, you cannot write free samples account. You have to write the word advertisement. So entry will be advertisement account debit. Advertisement account debit 3,000. Now when you write the credit part again, 2 goods distributed as free samples account. So again, you get these words from the transaction. 2 goods distributed as free samples account in the credit column, 3,000. Okay, now the next 3 transactions are all related to insurance of goods. So you will see how they differ. Though they are all related to insurance, how they differ. Now, first one here, 9th one, uninsured goods. Uninsured goods worth rupees 8,000 destroyed by fire. Now what happens here? The goods are not insured. If they are insured, you have to pay money to the insurance company. You have to pay the premium every quarterly. But since they are not insured, if they are destroyed by fire, that means the full amount of goods is lost. So you're not going to recover anything from the insurance company. So here this full amount is a loss to the business. So how will you write this entry? And all losses are debited. So you will write loss by fire account debit. Loss by fire account debit 8,000. 2 goods destroyed by fire account. 2 goods destroyed by fire account 8,000. The full amount is destroyed by the fire, so everything is a loss for the company. So the full amount has to be written or debited as loss. Now see how the next transaction changes. Insured goods. Insured goods worth rupees 8,000 destroyed by fire and full claim is accepted by insurance company. So children, see here, the word says, first word says insured goods. Now before that we have done a transaction where the goods are uninsured. Now here goods are insured and then the insurance company is giving you the full amount, okay, of the goods loss. In the previous, full thing was a loss. Now here, even though it is a loss, but since they were insured, you're going to get the full amount, that is the full 8,000 insurance company is giving you. So how do you write the entry? It will be insurance claim account debit. Insurance claim account debit 8,000. 2 goods destroyed by fire account. $8,000. Okay, and the last one. Insured goods worth rupees 8,000 destroyed by fire, and insurance company accepted a claim for rupees 6,750 only. Okay, now again, first, ninth transaction, uninsured goods. 10th transaction, what happened? Goods are insured, insurance company is giving you full amount. But now in the 11th transaction, goods are destroyed, 8,000. The insurance company comes, checks, and they say, we will give you only 6,750. We are not going to give you the full amount. So what happens? You are going to receive that 6,750 as insurance claim. And the remaining amount from 8,000 minus 6,750 is a loss to the business. So all losses are to be debited. So how do you write this entry now? Insurance claim account debit. You are receiving. So insurance claim account debit 6,750. Now loss by fire account. Loss by fire account debit. Now it is 8,000 minus 6,750, which is 1,250. 2. Goods destroyed by fire account. In the credit column, it has to be 8,000. You must remember, children, that your debit amount must be equal to your credit amount. In the first 10 entries, there were only one debit, one credit. Now here there were two debits, which amounts to 8,000, and your credit is also 8,000. Now this I've just shown you, these are all transactions related to only goods. Now besides this, there are different types of transactions, but in a problem, most of the transactions relate around goods. So that's why I've given you these 11 transactions, which are very, very important. So you will write them in the notebook, go through it, study them, and then we will move further in the next lecture. So I want you all to only do this much, but please be very, very neat. Okay, take your time. You can do it neatly. Go through it. If you have not understood, in the next lecture, we will again do it. You can send me a message regarding if you have not understood. Okay, and I will solve all your difficulties. So we will end the lecture today. Thank you and have a nice day.